So with no further ado, Chip Filer.
Thanks, Jeff. Back about 1981, the leaders of the community decided that we needed to celebrate the 100th anniversary of the founding of the city. So they got a committee together, and it was headed up by Roby Christie. And the first suggestion came out of some consultants from New York City that said we ought to have a rocking chair marathon. And Roby and the other folks on the committee said, that is not North Texas. That is not Wichita Falls. And it just so happens that those people were cyclists. So that's how it was born. The first ride was in 1982. They anticipated we'd have about 500 riders, and I think the number actually turned out to be 1,206. So partway through registration, they had to go out and buy some 12-inch paper plates to use for bib numbers because they had run out of bib numbers. And there are some pictures in our history book that have those bib numbers on them. Well, this year we actually celebrated our 41st annual ride. We even had one in 2020, although it was virtual, and people could do their ride in their own hometown, send in their times and stuff, and we'd send their medals and their t-shirts to them. We'd already bought the t-shirts. So we have had it up where, let's see, anywhere from like 2,600 people register in 2020 to 14,445. The average annual registration is somewhere right around 11,000. So those people come to town to ride 100 miles in the 100-degree heat to remember what happened in 1982. We have a steering committee of 142 people, all volunteers. We give out about 3,900 volunteer t-shirts every year, which is why we say we don't own hotter than hell, the community does. And Midwestern State University has been a big part of that over the years. Back in 1990, Dr. Bob Clark, at the behest of a couple of students, decided to pull together and form a cycling team for Midwestern. And Midwestern State University was one of the first to offer scholarships for cycling. And that started in 1990. The cycling coach for Midwestern is also the race director for our USAC cycling races that we have every year. This is a picture of the start line looking down Scott Street from above the bridge. And this is a scene to remember. I know that Dr. Mesichek got to go down and see the start this year. And it's kind of like come and ride with 10,000 of your best friends. It's actually fabulous. But hotter than hell could not exist without the community. And in exchange, the CVB has done a couple of surveys, and hotter than hell brings in somewhere between $5.5 and $8.5 million into the economy each year with that 1 week of activities. We also have an awful lot of people on our steering committee that are hotter than hell graduates, but they're also MSU graduates, and we will continue to live together. We still sponsor the annual scholarships for the cycling team, and you guys, you got a great coach this year. We lost Charlie because he moved, but Pablo is doing an excellent job. So, thank you.